is either I can use this on where I am not sure that whether these two attributes are having the same name or not. So that may be in table 1, I may be having the member name, and table 2 if I'm having the committee name. So in that particular case, definitely I have to use the on only. So provided just to verify both the tables, and based on the commonality of the attributes, you can apply the condition related to on. But whereas if I am scoping my verification with the using, I am pretty sure that in both tables, the name column is same, the member name or committee name, something like that. So it is the decision of the developer. Maybe if he is very pretty sure that the column name is same in both the tables, so definitely he can go with the using. Otherwise, as a common approach, whatever the functionality you are managing, you can go ahead with the on. And then we come across with the left outer join. Okay, so where uh, the concept is pretty simple. We want to highlight the members who are all not allocated in any of the committees. The first approach, of course, gives that the member information so that we can portrait who are all allocated and who have not been allocated. Those kind of aspects can be considered. There is a small optimizations we have claimed here before breaking. Um, Let me get that particular latest optimization we have come across. That is whatever the information we are having. So let me get that thing into our OneNote, friends. This is one thing where we are expecting from um, the appropriate table. So this particular information clearly gives that observation of okay committee ID and such kind of the information where we have not embedded, we have not given any responsibilities to these two guys, so Jane and David. And to achieve this particular convention, one small query we have used. Um, that particular query is something like, let me take that query also so that we can discuss. Uh, okay, observe here, guys. So just I am portraying this query also, and let me get the other way around the generic procedure, so that also, so that we can have a look on both the considerations. Okay, so now just if you observe the first one, where is a typical left outer join. Um, so this particular thing is clearly giving the information from the members one, and we are applying some join operation on the committees one. Okay, so we observed some kind of the answer. Like if possible, let me pull that answer also so we can extensively have the study. I don't know whether it allows or not. Just no, friends, it is not allowing. No problem. It's okay. So just we are making use of those things. Let me share that thing with you once more so that you can have a approach of understanding what I am talking about. So this particular option allows me to get into the picture of. Okay, so whatever whoever participating in the committees, so those kind of the conventions I can see. 1 minute, friends. Okay, yeah, got it. And similarly, let me take this particular thing also. 1 minute, friends. A little clarity I need to explain to you. Okay, this is one thing, and another thing is, you know, okay, other option. Let me take the output of this particular table also. I'm using some tool to get the data. Yes. Hmm. Now have a look on this, guys. So this particular portion, okay, our focus is on this particular portion only. This left outer join giving us the member information and committee that we know pretty. These are all the these are all the records which are belongs to the members, and these are all the records belongs to the committees. One important point the developer should observe while working with the joins is merely it is observing the equality, and it is going to perform some kind of the conditioning, and then it is going to pull the common records. So simply the approach is like this. Suppose I am giving some assignment or some kind of work to you. If you are doing means I can allocate the marks or I can evaluate. But whereas if you are not returning back or if you are not giving any response, then obviously I have to put 0. So similarly in case of the joins also, um, so if there is a corresponding record, okay, existing, then it is mapping that particular information. Otherwise, the versatility of this particular null is it is clearly mentioning that there is no mapping kind of the criteria there. But the wise way of solving this particular problem is this one, friends. Actually, I would say this is one kind of optimization where we can portrait with the help of join and as well as the where. Okay, just within the single statement, we can achieve this particular performance rather than mixing up these kind of the conventions. I can use the notion of these aspects like without any problem. I can easily pull up the appropriate members who are not mapped in the committee. Think through in another way, friends. Whereas if committee ID is not null, if I'm simply changing this particular thing to the not null. Okay, so again, let us go back and let me do that venture. So what exactly if I am portraying that not null instead of this null notation? Okay, so for that, um, let me see if this virtual lab allows me. Yeah, something like I try not null kind of thing, and you see. So this is a perfect example where one can achieve so as to get the notion of. Okay, so uh, just a minute, friends. 1 minute. Again, I'll pick up the information so that we can have the finalization of this topic. So which is very helpful in projects, friends. Actually, that's what we are spending some quite amount of the time here. Um, Now, just let us compare the activities. Um, the activity is pretty simple. Like, whatever the null values I'm having, I'm just scoping the not nulls. Okay, if you could see here, this particular thing, uh, if you are considering the null kind of the thing, we are getting the members who are not yet allocated. Some meaningful query is also there, friends. So rather than again carrying the null values, if I want to highlight only the members who are allocated for the committees, then with a small change, you can achieve that particular convention also. Okay, this is something like where I can portrait the usage, maybe in left join or right join or whatever. So we have done with the left join so far. But now what I am trying to do is this time I am proposing one more join called right join, friends. Because after that, after performing the right join, what we'll do is we want to pick up some kind of right join queries, and we'll observe that what exactly the understanding of that particular thing, and then I'll pose some questions to you. Let me see how I can get the answers from your perspective, right? Okay. Uh, right join, actually the diagram for this thing is I'm posting here, guys, in the chat, so that in meantime you can have this particular observation. So this right join allows us, okay, so as to fetch the committee's data apart from these members. Okay, so whatever the members we're having, which whoever the members. So the right join class selects all rows from the right table and matches row on the left table. So if a row from the right table doesn't have the matching row from the left table, the column of the left table will have the null in the result set. Because as I am talking about the right join, preference will be given to the right side records. All those records shall be scoped with respect to the join condition, and accordingly it is going to fetch the data. But as we are working on some kind of the scenario, here you can easily observe that a bit tricky. Like, in the members, if I am not allocating any member, I may be getting some kind of the information. But what about this right join? So just I'm having a query with me. So just let me handle that particular query. So where it is running the appropriate right join, and to set the context, members I'm having and committees I'm having, already we have created those conventions, and we are going to apply some kind of the logic. Um, with respect to these things, except that left join, we are using the right join. So there is no hassle in that. Simply you can run that particular query and accordingly. And here also using name I can use, or else your standard approach of getting the content. Right join committees one c on c dot name equal to m dot name. M and c are nothing but the alias name for members and as well as the committees respectively. So just you observe, and here in the committee actually we are having Joe, and here a simple notation, because in case of the right join, if I am pulling that particular maybe I can say like this, select star from members one, this is one side, and select star from uh, committees one. Okay, now you can simply analyze these records. So whichever the records from members, okay, however, this member ID 135 is there. So that 135, the matching records. Okay, Harish, Praveen and Wasim. Here also you can see from the right join. But Joe is not there in the members. That's what the reason. Obviously, the committee has already placed Joe. Maybe the client side we are having a spokesperson Joe, and we cannot scope Joe in the our local members or internal members. That's what that should be null, and of course it is fine. And here we can conclude that this committee member Joe is external from India, and he is representative of the corresponding client. Okay, so that is one more option we can observe. But now again the same point comes into the scope. In case of the left outer join, how we have avoided that null values. you can achieve the same kind of the convention, provided the same diagram I am giving. So something like, I want to place the committee like this. Uh, just you can observe in the chart. So that particular committee can be observed here. And I want to pick up only the members with respect to the appropriate portion. Okay, so the approach, okay, to maintain that particular convention, we are having a simple narration. So like the committee members who are not in the members table. Okay, so except that Joe, all the members are there. So for this particular approach also, we are scoping that members and as well as the committees to keep alive that particular understanding. No problem. Let me again run that particular code of in the context of the right join. So just I am clearing. And however, before the break, we have executed that left join with the null. Now we are running with the right outer. Okay, 1 minute, guys. So members have taken this uppercase. I have to remove that, and you see. So it's quite interesting actually. So if I am placing this particular null value, I can easily filter. Why I'm stressing this point is, friends, join not only helps us to combine the tables, it is also giving us some kind of the scope to filter and scope to apply the where clause, all these things. Okay, that is one more important thing. And however, simply if I am using this thing, yeah, as we expected, now you see. So whoever matched. So if I am portraying not null in the right and as well as the left, what is the criteria, friends? Similarly, if I am making use of left outer join here, earlier is there now. So 1 minute here. If I am making use of right, let me check the left if I am having with this not null. Surprisingly, they are giving the same result. Not surprise. However, they are working on the same kind of the lines. If you observe, right join, where clause, not null. Left join, where clause, not null. Now the point is, obviously this point comes into the picture. In left join, I observed, okay, the null kind of thing where the appropriate members are there. In the right join also, Joe is a member who is from the external member, is a client member. Now there is a chance of, if at all I want to club this left and right members. Okay, so that means the members who are all there in the left and who are all there in the right. Okay, maybe one simple thing, if I'm talking about Oracle or SQL Server, you can say as a full outer join. But there is a trick. Maybe you are aware of that particular thing. I am opening this particular chat window, friends. How can I achieve the full outer with respect to MySQL? Is there any specific criteria or is there any specific approach for that? Just think through. And my requirement here is I want to cross join is something like that is distinct, friends. I am not asking about the cross join. Cross join is basically helping us to get into all the Cartesian products kind of thing, but it won't help us much. Uh, if I am saying a cross join, Cartesian product of rows from join table, which is combining each row from the first table with every row from the right table to make the result set. So for example, if I'm having the n number of rows from the first table and m rows in the second table, obviously we'll be getting n into m records. Uh, Probably that is not my intention, but I want to scope the approach of combining both left outer and right outer joins records. Uh, for that particular thing, any idea is coming to you? Because though it is contradicts, but still there are certain avenues. Very good, Praveen. Excellent. Okay, so that is simple notation. In the general scenarios, friends, we always, yeah, Vedant, you're right. If you use first left and use right, then you use the full outer. Harish, just you embed that particular part with the union. Okay, so uh, the approach union, just follow the criteria. Like what we need to do is, let me try whether this allows me or not. Control L. I am having the left join with the null uh, union, and let me paste that particular right join also. Um, Whatever I'm having earlier. So latest we have used na, that particular right join, so that we can specify the usage of the both the joins, left and right with the union. So we are pasting. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Mm, yeah. Mm. No, just what I will do is, somewhere I have to keep this thing, and then right outer I should change the capital letter. Always this is itching us. Now we'll see that this is only right. Oh, 1 minute, guys. Control L. Here only I will showcase those things. Just a minute. Rather than finding difficulty there. So the member every time it is updating. That's what the problem. First I have to pick up the left outer. Okay. So just I'm picking up that thing. Basic left outer without null or something. Yeah, yeah. This is the first option I have to give. Uh, just I'm going to apply the left outer here, and I am opening the avenue for the union, and thereafter this time I should be very cautious. Otherwise the members again creating some trouble for us. So small letter only. Okay. Just I am taking this particular convention, and I am making use of this thing. Paste. Okay. So simply what we have done is, we have taken the first approach as the left join, and we are using one more support or construct of the MySQL, that is the union, and we are giving some right join. Okay. Uh, just you observe here, guys. So this is the approach where you can find out the full outer join. Though directly I am not using the full outer join class, but with the help of the union. So now you can easily claim that joins are not against to where, or they are not against to union. Within the joins, you can scope these kind of thing for better results. And otherwise, suppose if I'm saying like this, maybe yeah, if I'm saying like this, so where, let me minimize this thing. However, it is not there. Nulls, or there is no question of avoiding nulls and all. And as a task, what I'm giving you guys, just to observe that, okay, whatever the statement we are having, so just I'm making use of this particular convention. Entire thing I am copying actually. Now my requirement is, so just you need to observe that maybe in the earlier thing what we have done is, yes, okay, just I have pasted that one in the above query. Okay, so check with null in left and right joins. This is the first criteria. And I need your observations. Okay, and project your observations. This is the first thing, friends. Second thing is in the above query, check with not null also we have taken not null in both the joints. In the union, I am talking about both the joints while applying the union. Okay, so tomorrow, however, we'll discuss this particular task is covering entire things, friends, actually, because left join with null, left join without null, right join with null, right join without null, and thereafter we are applying the full outer join with null and as well as without null. Maybe little ambiguous at this moment, but while if you start working, however, the code snippets I am going to share in the Slack mode. Okay, so with the help of, but my strong recommendation would be just I will be giving some more example to you guys. So as a common task, and just I will be picking some of the persons to debate on that. Okay, like that will go. Some kind of dynamic properties also will try, because while working with in your project, maybe suddenly uh, if client comes into the picture or your manager suddenly asks you something about a criteria, and I should prepare you in that genre also. So what I will do is this is a common task you feel, and just you scope this particular common task, and it's not a big deal, guys, actually. So only one or two examples you can portray, and it is absolutely fine. Maybe you could have created some kind of the tables in our training. So the same tables you can use, but joins means some kind of criteria you should establish. Just like that, if you are applying joins without any relevancy in the tables, it won't give any meaningful information. So my strong suggestion would be just you can give a try of understanding of the appropriate constructs, and accordingly you can lead the case. Okay, so with this, the most important criteria of full outer with respect to nulls and not null criteria, and as well as left join, right join individually with null and as well as the without null. And moreover, the scoping of where clause with respect to the join, and usage of the union with respect to join also we come across. So this is how we are making use of these constructs so as to leverage our learning up to the advanced level. Okay. Now the most important part, of course, all the topics are having their own kind of the importance. But another example I want to talk about, another concept I want to talk about, that is something like normalization, actually. So if you are referencing the kind of discussion related to this normalization, um, let me take some kind of the scenario where that particular scenario explains us to understand the normalization in a better way. So I initially uh, just I want to specify some kind of criteria, like whatever the specification or whatever the aspects we are using. Uh, just these particular aspects so far we have seen, we are not sure that whether our design is proper or not. So for the better database design, so just I am proposing the concept of normalization. Okay, so let me give you the example. I'm having some kind of the employee ID with me, and thereafter I'm having employee name, and basically the designation, skill set, project allocated, reporting manager, qualification. So this is a moderately a bigger file, maybe the entire Indium capabilities we are recording. So this is especially for the sake of data engineering or data science projects. Now with this friends, we are having such great dimensions here. The first dimension is we are talking about the employee data. And second thing is we are talking about the basic project information. And third thing is management. So who this guy is reported to some kind of the manager. Now see the approach is like this. That HR guy got the information about the employee, but he is unable to map maybe up to 1 week or 10 days. He has to wait the kind of the project to be allocated to this person. Okay. Now in that case, he cannot insert the entire data. Now, this is the first problem actually. Now, so that means if complete data is not available to populate the information, obviously we have to end up, we have to stop our process actually. Okay, this is in the database terminology. Such kind of thing is known as anomaly. Okay, so what do you mean by anomaly is some kind of the error situation. Okay, some kind of the error. At this moment, though I'm having the decided attributes, but still those attributes are not populated by the corresponding person. Okay, that is the first important point. The second problem is okay, we are having every data. We are having all the data. Now what we are doing is I want to delete a particular project maybe. Okay, so if I am deleting this particular project allocated, okay, so that no problem with respect to that particular project, the corresponding members will be deleted, like DE project. Obviously, the members who are related to this DE project, maybe Harish, Praveen, okay, Sai, okay, Bharati, all these guys data we are going to delete, because we are not only deleting the project information, but also the manager information, qualification, skill, all these things are going out. This is also one error. This is the deletion error. This is the deletion error. And similar to this particular insert and delete, there is the update error also. Update in the sense, suppose mm, a particular project allocated name has been changed to few members. So to few members means DE with PySpark we have launched. But after that client asked us, you can scope the Scala also. But I want to restrict this particular PySpark should be continued and Scala also should be continued. But at the moment I try to update the appropriate information with Scala, all records are going to affect it. All records will be affected because there is no such individual, because at least we are not scoped, assume like that. That is the situation maybe. So this is what you call the update error. So far, if you observe one big table, okay, a note here, one big table suffering with insert delete, update errors. Okay, that particular table is undergoing into various erroneous conditions without confirming the appropriate task. Now the point comes to our mind. So how do we handle this particular situation? So because the problem here is, as we are integrating employee data, project data, and their qualifications or something like that. So if I'm having employee and qualification, due to this unavailability of the project, the insertion anomaly came to the picture. And if I'm deleting some project information as a dependency is there, complete data is suffering. And again, update, maybe if I want to update something in the project, that is reflecting in all the things. So as to handle this particular situation, one important thing come to your mind, that why can't I um, decompose the table? Why can't I decompose the table so that we can avoid errors in the context of insert, delete, and update. Okay, see you guys, just you observe with this particular criteria, every normal database practitioner feel that, okay, why if you are facing that issue of handling this employee project and the appropriate qualification or any other details, just to use the decomposition so that employee details can be there and project is somewhere and your personal details will be somewhere. And if possible, if needed, you can establish a kind of parent and child kind of the relation, master detail relation. That is absolutely fine. Okay, if such kind of things are coming to your mind, you are absolutely thinking in a right direction, and the approach we named that as a normalization. Okay, so what do you mean by normalization? Means even while LK, while issuing the results, maybe IIT, JEE or those kind of the agencies, they scale and they normalize the results, friends, across the country. Maybe around 12 to 14 lakh people will be attending to these examinations, and they have to scale and they have to normalize the appropriate results. So similarly, in the database also is one kind of the standard, and especially we are facing some anomalies, some kind of the erroneous situations. So for that particular thing, just I need to use the concept of the normalizations. So normalization, okay, is a process of um, solving the errors in the context of insert, delete, and update by decomposing the table, which also handles the redundancy issues. See friends, here some technical terminology we are using. Um, Errors, decomposing, unnecessary redundancy. Now I am putting you one question. Okay, errors we are observing. These are all the evidential conditions. Which are all the important points we have to make sure in the decomposing and redundancy, actually avoiding the redundancy. Okay, just I'm taking a pause here, guys. Like normalization establishment, I want to lay down some kind of the platform for you before going to discuss normal forms and all these implementations. But initially, I want to discuss what exactly the point, what is the important convention in the understanding of the normalization. Now I have covered some kind of aspects related to the errors, decomposition, decomposing the relation, and avoiding the redundancy. Now the question is, maybe what comes to your mind immediately if I am asking you to split or to decompose a relation, maybe one big relation we have taken like employee ID, name, skill set, designation, reporting manager, and then qualification, some those kind of the attributes. And roughly I cannot decompose now, like, okay, three columns you take and remaining three you put in another table. That is meaningless. Some point should be followed. What could be that particular point? Second important thing is most important thing. However, we are having some fair understanding of normal form normalization now. How this normalization is avoiding the unnecessary redundancy? That is my question. So just have a look on that. So just think through. Now 18, so maybe 21, something like that, because you have to think definitely you won't get any support from the Google also. Let me type the questions. The third one is while decomposing the relation, what should be, what should, what we need to observe, design, the design of the data. This is one thing. Fourth thing is uh, in the redundancy handling, how the normalization of the relations helpful. Take your time, friends, don't worry, because this is the point where you need to think. It's not a querying, or it's not talking about some joins or something, because the solid understanding of data design is required. And once I got the consent from you, uh, just I'll highlight the members who are all. Maybe I can consider this as one of the component to announce star performer of the day. So far, Sahu and Wasim were observed. Maybe they can even compete for the next days also. No problem. There is no such criteria of excluding anybody. Here, definitely redundancy would be there in our sessions. And moreover, after getting your replies, so just will conclude the fundamental aspect of this normalization, and then we'll have a break. Thereafter, our conversation. Okay, like so one or two members randomly I'll pick. Maybe you can um, give the explanation of those particular tasks. An interactive session. However, four members still pending for the evaluation. I'll complete that particular task also. And related to the batch. So today we have to use time efficiently, friends. I need your utmost support. So, but however, learning goes on. This third and fourth questions I am expecting in a most crisp. Just don't flood the things with number of lines. By this time, you would have identified that the simpler and concise understanding of the topic is much more important. So in that particular genre, I am telling you like again, I am repeating while decomposing the relation, what we need to observe in the design of the data. Second important thing is in the redundancy handling, how the normalization of the relations helpful. Think through just by 25, definitely 4 minutes require just to give some work to your mind and come up with your thought process. Okay, so 25 will start taking and maybe 5 to 10 minutes will conclude the understanding and thereafter we'll decide whether after taking your demonstrations we'll take the break or something like that we'll plan. Okay, right, go ahead. So got some answers. Very good. As usual, Sahu first. Uh, Sahu says while decomposing a big table to multiple tables, the tables must follow a relation of master detail with each other. Yes, that is the first point, fundamental point, where one table can have multiple child tables or parent tables. Yeah, of course, based on our case study and requirement, and each column of a single table follows their primary key. Each column may not. Um, okay, this is some ambiguous. The relation should be formed in such a way that the flow of the context, the data stays intact. Of course, that is mandatory. Lossless. decomposition without affecting to the original relation, we have to play around. Okay, that's what the name given to that. Okay, agreed, Sahu. Uh, Basically, to avoid duplication of the data or no repeating groups into a table. Okay, so it is straightforward and simple understanding. And Shahid says, while splitting up the big table into many small tables, the tables must follow the parent-child relationship. That is one direct understanding. And I am expecting some other thing. Let us see. Harish may scope that. If the relation has no proper decomposition, then it may lead to problems like loss of information. Excellent. But that has to be addressed actually, Harish. If something comes to your mind, then uh, just you contribute your answer in the chat window. Satish says breaks the table into multiple data, eliminate the problems, data and loss of information. Excellent. But only the thing is, I am looking for some other that extra mile you have to go. And Janeswar says there should every data is present and the relation should be maintained as same. Okay, so this is one more criteria. So still, because of course, definitely I know the less time I have given to you, but I want to check how speed and how fast your brain is functioning towards to uh, picking up some kind of the information and exploring. That is the basic thing. And Bharati has come up with some analogy. Is it to eliminate some of the problems of bad design? Very good. Like anomalies, inconsistencies and redundancy. If the relation has no proper decomposition, that it may lead to the like, okay, this is compared with everyone. After Sahu, your analogy is also very good, Bharati, because it is definitely the thorough understanding because you scoped that what exactly the bad design, anomalies, and inconsistency, and thereafter, redundancy. If the relation has no proper decomposition, obviously it leads to some other issues. Okay, like loss of information and all that. Yeah, absolutely, I agreed with you. And sometimes database designers refer to these goals in terms such as data integrity, referential integrity, or Praveen has come up with some other genre. Um, Referential integrity may be a very old topic compared with the normal form or normalization. Just let us wait some other time. And Vedant, yeah, definitely. It is confusing, Vedant, because first time if I am referring the normalization, definitely it is causing some trouble. So very good, excellent. I got the insight. But what I am suggesting here you is uh, normalization. Okay, basically, while working with the table kind of the data. Okay, so it is having some kind of the approach, So basically, database normalization is a process of organizing the attributes of the table. Okay, so just we are making use of that particular convention. Okay, so whatever the attributes I'm having, I can able to get the database. And one more thing, to reduce or eliminate data redundancy. Elimination may not be possible 100%, but of course we can manage that particular redundancy in a proper way. Okay, we can manage that. At least elimination may not be possible completely, but we can reduce that up to some extent. Of course, we know that the redundancy is a process of maintaining the same data in multiple locations. Uh, uh, the approach is simple here, guys. What I'm saying here is, suppose if I'm maintaining my file in multiple locations of the database, same file, then only I can say that as a replicated file. Advantage is there, as we have seen earlier. If any problem is there for a particular location, I can access the data from second or third location. That is there actually. But the issue here is okay. Suppose if you are modifying the data here and you have to extend the modification to all the locations. Otherwise, what happens is um, it reaches to the level of the inconsistency. And moreover, practically, friends, maintaining of these replication causing the space effect, and as well as again, updating the appropriate changes in all these locations is again taking much more time. Okay, in a way, redundancy is something like a reliable kind of the approach, but always we are replicating the same kind of the data at multiple locations. And if sometimes if you are not um, applying the appropriate logic across the all these replications, you end up your database in the inconsistent state. Maybe um, uh, Praveen is accessing the third portion of the third file. I mean the F1 file from the third location, and Harish is accessing the second location, and Vedant is accessing the first location. So if these three are properly tagged, properly consistent, then they get the same kind of the data without any problem. There is no data quality issues. But whereas first location only properly maintained and second location, third location were not properly maintained, automatically only Vedant is having the proper data, and our guys Harish and Sahu end up with some kind of erroneous results. So that is why we need to handle this redundancy. So database normalization basically a process of organizing the attributes. And here while organizing, friends, we need to see how we are going to organize, because the point is logically we have to divide or decompose the data, because solution we are saying, however, solution we are saying like I want to make use of that particular database or table in a perfect format. So the problem just now we have discussed what is the problem with the data redundancy. It is unnecessarily increasing the size of the database as we are placing the same data in repeated manner in many places. And most dangerous problem is inconsistency problems. Okay, while I am inserting, deleting and updating all the three locations, I have to scope and I should clear the appropriate thing without any problem. Okay. So this is what how you can refer. And now what I am saying here is, friends, uh, one more approach. I don't want to overburden on this topic because this topic requires um, at most attention. So what I'm going to do is I am introducing one more term called functional dependency. Okay, so functional dependency is nothing but the constraint or relationship between the attributes of the table. So assume that friends here I'm having the student number, student name, and then CGPA, which university he is studying, and whether he has placed in the campus placements or not. Now you observe here. So I may able to get by just giving the student number, I may able to get the student name, and with the student number kind of thing, I can observe the university, and with the CGPA, because I assume that that is RV or some Dayanand Sagar or else some kind of Jain, maybe Jadavpur University, because these are all outstanding. Na? So just you can observe that based on the certain CGPA, we can easily say whether this guy has placed or not. So what I mean to say is this functional dependency is something like whatever the attribute I am taking, if I could able to generate the, if I could able to find out the proper values from that particular left side. So I would say that as a functional dependency. What I mean to say is SNO determines S name. This is the first point. Second one, S name dependent on SNO. Okay. So in a simplest way, suppose if I am saying X and Y, X functionally determines Y. X functionally determines Y. Like how we have seen our with the help of SNO, I could able to generate the, sorry guys, S name. Okay, so this SNO functionally determines S name. Just by saying that SNO, I could able to fetch the details. So this functional dependency, just to have a look on that, friends, before coming to the tomorrow session. This is the one of the important tasks you need to prepare. And first time I am saying just go and have a look on this functional dependency. And if possible, have a look on the other aspects like partial dependency. However, I'm going to cover, but just you also have an eye, if possible, if time permits, partial dependency and transitive dependency. Apart from these kind of thing, already keys we have covered. Just have a repeat on this candidate key we need and super key, prime and non-prime attributes. So these four really helps to understand the process of the normalization. And based on the understanding, we are going to decompose the data with the help of the normal forms. However, I will reveal those kind of the secrets in the next session. But as of now, just to observe that normalization is a process of decomposing the relation into multiple tables, um, which is a process of reducing or eliminating the redundancy of the databases or tables. But to apply this particular normalization across the tables in the database, we should follow certain kind of the rules and regulations. For that particular thing, we have to take care about the functional dependency of the attributes. And this functional dependency is a way of identifying the relationship between the attributes, how they are tagged, and what is the constraint exists between those kind of the data items. That is probably the important notion. And other important thing is related to this functional dependency. We are having other byproducts, actually the partial dependency, transitive dependency, and one more point is there, friends. Actually, the fifth point is trivial and non-trivial dependency. Because why we are giving this much important to this topic is, friends, in the morning session also we referred this point. If your data is not perfect, you may not analyze the data in the proper way. So while working with enumeration or your generated column or joins or transaction management, the underlying part is how we can achieve the quality of the data. So quality data always comes with the base of database design, and in that particular database design, normalization playing a vital role actually. So of course, identification of the keys and observation of the shorter names, meaningful names, and though we are following all those best practices, but technically we should be very good in the understanding of normal forms and normalizations of the tables, because this particular normalization, one thing important is after the DDL operations, the majority of the development is revolving around our DML operations only, friends. So in that particular case, if my table is heavy and I am suffering like anything to insert the data, update the data, or delete the data, then obviously we'll end up with some kind of the chaos. So as to avoid that particular convention, uh, just will pick up these kind of the points. Okay. So with that, I'm pausing. I'm taking a pause here, friends. Now it is your turn. Whether we'll have a break or what is your thought process on that? We'll have a break up to 4, and then I'll give mic to you, or else shall I complete 2 or 3 random checks of your screen sharing, whether you have uh, implemented the things whichever I have asked. Choice is yours, friends. I'm okay with anything. Okay, now or after. I want to take your thing. Okay, always that is the one more thing. You leave the decision to me only. Okay, let me ask Harish. Harish, how will go?
Take first.
Harish, again your voice is low. Just you have your lunch, man.
Actually,
Take
sir,
food.
it is a mic problem. I'm
So
audible, sir.
yeah, you are now you are audible in a great way.
Yes, yes, sir.
What will do, Harish? Whether we'll have a break or what do you say? Whether tea is
Uh,
ready in your home?
no, no, sir. I have to
Uh,
make.
oh, you have to make. You are
Yes,
staying
yes.
individual. Okay. Uh, mm. Okay.
So,
What we'll do? Okay, we'll have a break. No problem, because the concepts are heavy. Just take nice tea and come back. Let me take Harish answer here. Question number 4. Well, I have to go back what I asked. Uh, in the redundancy handling, how the normalization of the relations helps. Yeah. What he has given. To ensure only related data is stored in excellent, Harish. Uh, Very good, very good. Because see that is the major point actually. Because as a common sense plays everywhere. A reason behind that is, guys, at the moment I want to split something, and while making use of the appropriate relations into the best design, most importantly, I should know the functional dependencies, because based on that thing only, yeah, of course, Praveen. Database maintenance is easier actually, because see why we are making the directories, you tell me. Because one directory is for Uma, one is for Suresh, and one is for Satish, maybe one is for advanced SQL. Even I also, while conducting the trainings, I'll keep all the details day 1, day 2, day 3. Maybe after some time, if Satish is asking like, okay sir, can you give the third day class shell, I somehow I missed out, I should be able to give that. Okay, because I am the contact person of this particular training, right? And the second part is saying it also prevents any issue from the database modification, insertion, deletion, and update. Absolutely, because once your path is clear, your road is clear, then your steps lead to that destination, guys. It's a simple formula. Okay, so that is one thing. Database maintenance easier. Yeah, perfectly. Uh, Very good. It makes database maintenance
Sir,
easier.
check
Yeah.
mine.
Sahu has given a where I didn't see.
A little
Uh,
up. Yeah.
okay. 329. Okay. So in redundancy handling, normalization helps to avoid anomalies perfectly. Erroneous values or duplicate entries. It means maintains the standard, integrity, and quality of the data. In turn, the database avoids insertion, deletion, and updation error. Helpful in analysis of the data and also helpful in better backup, recovery, and data migration. Excellent. So I know your potentiality. It's not a big surprise to me. Definitely. So that shows your work actually, your worth and hard work, and how you are traveling with me. uh, so that is complete credit I will give to you only. How you are getting the extraction. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Vedant, yeah, very good. Vedant is saying we have to read more. No, no, Vedant, no problem. But only just I'll try to minimize the burden on you because some concept. That's what I'm keep on postponing this normalization. Actually, to be frank, already I have gone through Satish data, whatever the reply he has given, and Harish already seen. Yeah, good, good. Okay, though I got less. Not less, more only. Very good. Okay, but still, today Karthik is bit slow, and Bharati is also. Hmm? Satish is on track. Vedant is also good, and Janeswar is okay. Praveen, however, he is a regular replier. Always he replies. Shahid and all. Srinidhi and Sai Sravanti, what happened? They are not in the call. Any idea, friends? Okay, so just you make sure, okay, just you attend the things without fail. Okay, so unless you're having any urgency, that's perfectly all right. Okay, you can go through the recordings and you can come back always.
Sir, Srinidhi said
Oh,
there's blackout in their area.
oh, power failure, huh?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
network issue, sir.
Network issue. Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, okay, no issue.
He
It
sent us
happens
a
sometimes.
message, sir.
Okay. Maybe I also received the mail, but I have not time to see those things because we are in all training, na. So yeah, friends, just we are in 350. Um, what we'll do is we'll come back by 4-5. Okay, so from 4-5 onwards, it is your turn. Maybe just will start interacting with you. I will. Okay, that is most excited part of my trainings. And second thing is I am recommending you. Maybe you take 5 more minutes also. Let me know. But form the groups. Okay, form the groups and you ask. I mean, who are there? Other members? Yeah, Satish, not Srinidhi, and as well as Sai Sravanti also. So whether they are interested to join with you in the, this kind of batching and all. Okay, so
Sir,
that
actually, we
ah,
formed a group, sir. Uh,
Harisha, ah,
yes, me,
very good.
Ashutochan, and Vedant
3 members, and
joined the
you
group.
can,
Yes, three members.
nice, nice. Like that, maybe other members would have formed a group. We'll wait
Yes,
for that,
yes.
and we'll open the floor to announce the members, right?
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Very good, Harish. That's always appreciated because yourself, if you are farming, means you are reducing burden on me. Burden in the sense, again, without knowing, because already functional dependencies are there with you, so you can functional more. So, but if I am doing means I can randomly pick up. Though I am knowing you with this short duration of 3 days interaction with you, but yourself, if you are doing means it is more. Fruitful, I can say. Praveen, you are
Yes.
saying something?
Yes, sir. We too formed a group.
Excellent. I
Karthik
know
and
you, Karthik, and
Satish, sir.
Satish. Okay, nice,
Yes, sir.
nice. Very good. 2 batches already over. Okay,
So Rohit,
that's good. Oh, nice. Wasima, Shahid.
Shahid,
Shahid,
myself,
who are all?
myself, Janeshwar and Bharati Shanmugam.
Bharati. Okay, 3 members. Okay, obviously the leftover members can be added with Wasim. Okay, right. That really great, guys. Thank you. Okay. No problem. Then in that particular case, we can wind up before 5 only. so that I can jump into other call. Okay. So thank you very much. See you back. And now 51. So exactly by 4:06. Okay, we'll start. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, one more thing. Vedant here.
Vedant, tell me.
Yeah, it's raining cats and dogs over here, so anytime my power will be cut off. So yeah, so
Where are
will
you?
it be
Where are you, Vedant, now?
I'm
Chennai?
in Pune? I'm in Aurangabad right now. There's
So the cyclone effect is from there only, na Vedant, or
yeah.
yeah,
Actually,
you are
the
suffering
state is on
everybody.
high.
You are causing suffer to everybody. Here also in Hyderabad and Bangalore also we are facing the same.
Right.
No
So
problem,
the
Vedant.
thing
No
is,
problem. Ah.
will it be possible to take the presentation first and I
Ah,
mean, it would be
yeah,
helpful.
we'll do
So,
that, Vedanta. No problem. First, I will take your presentation only because
uh,
probably you are the member need to give the
yeah,
presentation.
my task 4 is there, so it's me only.
No problem, Vedanta. In that case,
Okay.
no problem. If power
Yeah.
supports you, you give. Otherwise, too, you won't go anywhere. Na? After completion of the course, also I will ping you.